Sorry. Okay. I think we should be functional. So we are moving along with the sugya of Eini יודע Pratich, and why exactly the Eini יודע Pratich is chayev, and we have a lot more to go. Just a quick show of hands. How many guys would have said that they think they've pretty much finished up the Marmakomos today? Okay, not that many hands. Okay, fine. So let's see how far we can get. Very, very quickly by way of Chazara, because we need to have everything pretty clear. Yesterday we presented a basic machlokes in the Rishon, what seems to be a basic machlokes in the Rishonim, between the Rif and we're going to call it Tosfos in Bava Metzia, which was with the parish of the Tosfos Arash in the Tosfos, about what the reason why, if the guy tain is he'll be sani, but Eini יודע Pratich, why exactly he's going to be chayev. Okay, so the Rif had explained to us that din is based on the classic Shas general rule called Ein Safek Motzi Midei Vadai, meaning if there's a Vadai Chiyuv because you admitted that you borrowed the money. So the Safek Piron Ein Safek Motzi Midei Vadai, that doesn't do anything. The Safek Piron doesn't get you off the hook. We can apply the rule of Ein Safek Motzi Midei Vadai, despite the fact that you have a cheskas mamon, right, which is normally the reason why Reb Nachman says that you're putter from paying. But the cheskas mamon, when you're moded that there's a chiyuv, so then already we have to say ein safek motzi midei vadai. The vadai chiyuv is not going to be changed by the fact that there was a safek. That was the Rif. Okay? We were medayik in our Tosas, but it was certainly pretty clear in the Tosas Arash that the concept of Eini יודע Pratich is actually based on what we call the model of a super bari. This is a case of bari v'shema on steroids, where we say that this is such an advantage to the Tainas bari, and such a disadvantage to the Taina shema, as the Rush points out. He uses the language we've seen before of heavy leila meida. How do you not know? If you were poreya your chov, how do you not know if you pay back the debt or not? And in that kind of a case, we for sure say the bari is adif than the shem. It doesn't matter that you have a cheskas mama. Normally we say, yeah, you want a cheskas mare, but over here the shem is so garua, is so bad that this bari v'shema, the bari is going to be adif. Okay, and if we recall, right, they were describing over there the Tosas in Bava Metzia, the case where the shoel was moded that I did borrow a para and I would be chayiv and onsim, but the shoel didn't know if the para that died was the shu'ula, was the schura, right? What day, what hour, and so on and so forth. And that's what the Rosh explains, that the pshat in what the Tosas says over there is that's all called one big what do you call it? The low heavy leila meida example over there. And we can definitely apply the regular rules of Bari V'Shema and so on and so forth. That's why the Gemara thought that case was a raya against the shita of Reb Nachman. Again, we're not going to discuss right now the Nebuchadnezzar Yosef and his comments that he made on that Gemara yesterday. Right now, we're going to start off with a new mahalach in the sugya of Bari V'Shema. And this new mahalach is based on a svar that's found in the text. Now, again, just to make it clear, for presentation purposes right now, we are well aware, okay, that the Taz is not one of the Rishonim, okay, despite the fact that the Taz was a Gadol Shebegadolim. But the Taz speaks something out, and as we go along, we're going to show that there are roots to this idea already found in the Rishonim. But clearly, the Shitas of the Rishonim have much more weight than Shitas of the Achronim. But as we're going to see, that this does have its roots in the Rishonim also, but the Taz just spells it out so incredibly clear. But a really, really, I think it's a very, very interesting case. The Taz, as we know, of course, deals with a scenario where the possible payback, excuse me, was taking place in a scenario where the excuse me, I just on one page in the Taz. So as he points out, we have a scenario Mishapara lechavero sach mos. Right? We're not going to read everything inside, but you know the case of the Taz. The person paid back his chov. Okay, and everyone agrees that the person paid back, the chov, and that there was no issue with. But the malveh who just got paid back, or a week after he gets paid back, comes back to the loan, says, "Hey, it was very nice. You paid back the loan, but here some of the coins were mizuyafim. They were forgeries. They're not actual legit, unreal, coins. And basically means I got shafted, and there's no you didn't pay me back. I actually didn't get my money back right now." The Lova's response to that is, I don't know. How do I know if I had money in my pocket? I gave it to you. You're claiming that those, that money that was mizuyaf was the money that I gave to you. Maybe yes, maybe no. I don't know if it's mizuyaf, not mizuyaf. So the original Lova says back to the Malva, like, I don't know, like that. So the Taz says that this is a shayla that came up. Some people said this is essentially a case of Eini Yodea in Prathicha, because that's what it sounds like over here. I know it's chayiv. I'm not sure if there was actually a payback yet. Eini Yodea in Prathicha. The Taz, as you know, takes issue, and the Taz says a very, very, very interesting svara, where the Taz says, this is for sure considered a case of Eini Yodea im Hilvisani, where the Lova is going to be putter, and he's not going to have to pay back. And as the Taz says, he goes, I can prove it to you based on Gemara, which I didn't ask you to read because it's a little bit of a tricky proof. It's from a Gemara you never saw before yet. But he says, but I'll also tell you what the svar is behind that. And the svar is what's going to be more important for us right now. So we're going to start off, reading some of the words of the Taz. The action of Vayratem. Rav Nachman the Kaimelam Kibaseva Perka goes abasu. This really Omer Eini Yodea Ani Chayv Lach the butter. The Frashinan has some time and the Lo Arminan has some Bari B'Shem Bari Yadav. Elam Isveika Lo Mafkin Mimona V'Uke Mamona B'Chez Kaso. So says the Taz. Listen, we know what the Gemara says. The Gemara says the reason why that Rav Nachman says the Lova is putter from paying is because he has a chazaka, right? And the chazaka says the money is his. He doesn't have to pay back. Says the Taz, "V'nira shezeh atzmo taimei demasnisin b'chiyuv de'einu yodei Prathicha." And the Taz says that same exact idea, the very same reason why Rav Nachman says you're normally going to be pater because of the idea of chazaka. That's the reason why in the case of Eini Yodea Prathicha that you're going to be chayiv to pay. Why? Davke Eini Yodea im ani chayiv l'chavi achshav nolad asafik. Mukminim bechezka sancha yetchila kodem asafik lohoya alav shum chod. In a case where the issue is, I don't know if I'm not even sure if I ever borrowed the money. I don't even know if there was ever a chiyuv. So there we say, we look at the chazaka that existed prior to the beginning of the safek, okay? And before the question arose, you were the person who had the chezkas mamon, you're going to be pater. Mash'enkim be'einu de imperaticha. But in the case of Eini Yodea Prathicha, where everyone agrees that the chov was there, I'm just not sure if I paid back the chov. Im nuke hamamam bechezkas kama kodem shenol asafik as vadai chayiv lo. If we're going to say, now we have a question, did you pay back? So let's shtelevek the chazaka. Let's apply the chazaka here and say, whatever the status quo was, that's what it's going to be. Just like we do by the case of the classic Bari B'Shema. Well, applying a chazaka says that you're chayiv to pay because you had a chezkas chiyuv. The status quo was you owed the guy money. Well, says the Taz in that kind of a scenario, memela nishar chov b'tokfo. So the chov remains in place. Nimsa b'nidon zeh. But now the Taz says, so if I apply that logic of the concept of a chezkas chiyuv, the Taz says when you look more carefully, you realize that exact principle is what tells us that in the case that we just raised, that you're actually going to end up being pater. Why? Because the moment that I paid you back the money, that everyone agrees that I tried to pay you back. The moment that I paid you back the money, now already I paid you back. I created a patur. The Malva is coming back with a new issue, right? Saying that, some of the money that I got, I think might have been mizuyah. The Lova says, I have no idea. I don't know. I paid you back money, and I don't even know if that money that you're showing me, those coins are actually the ones that I gave you. A quarter is a quarter, and as a dime is a dime. How do I know that was the money that I actually gave back to? How, like, who says? Says the Taz, so if you want to apply the rule of chazaka, the status quo for the past day, from the moment I paid you back the money, the chazaka already was that I was pater because I paid back the chov. You're raising a new issue over here. So even though the words might be, I don't really know if I actually fully paid you back, right? Because we're not sure if you actually received the money in return. That's all fine and dandy, but it's not. What's important for us is not the words. Am I saying the words? I'm not sure if you were paid back. What's important is the principle, and the principle that's operative is the idea of applying the last known chazaka. So says the Taz once again, in your regular case of Eini Odea in Peratika, where we know that there was a chov, right? Because I'm a moda that I stole, a moda that I borrowed the money, and I took the pikadon, etc. I have a chezkas chiyuv. Okay, so then already I'm going to be chayiv to pay. When there's the suffix, we go with the chezkas chiyuv. And again, in the Taz's particular case of the money that was mezuyav, right? The Taz says when you look at that principle, you end up the case of chezkas patur. But what emerges from the Taz, right? Now, the simple reading of the Taz, because the ship shot in the Taz over here, is that the Taz is giving us now a new svara behind the chiyuv of a Shemic case, and the chazaka is one of chiyuv, not one of ptur. Says the Taz, then for sure you're going to be chayiv to pay back. Okay? That's the concept of the Taz. Chezkas chiyuv. So right now we have three different versions of how to understand the concept of Eini יודע im Peratika. Right? One of them was applying the Shas principle of ein safek motzi midei vadai, the Rif. Then we saw the Tosis of Mitziyat Sarivav, along with the parish of the Tosis of Rush, that pointed out the idea is what we call the super bari, okay? That in a case where it's heble lameda, like where it's just so ridiculous, how do you not know? So the bari v'ema, the bari is going to be adaf, and your chezkas moment doesn't mean anything in light of such a ridiculous, weak, wimpy, loserish kind of a shema taina that you have. Even the chezkas moment is not strong enough to defend against such a loser. That just can't be. Sorry, you're out of here. You're going to be chayiv to pay. Now we're introducing a new concept, and that's a concept called a chezkas chiyuv. The reason why you're chayiv to pay, because there's a chezkas chiyuv that overrides your chezkas mama. Now, let's just point out very, very quickly. This is like a footnote number one for today. If you look in the Ksos HaChoshen, not one of the Ksos that you did, but in the Ksos HaChoshen, also in Siman Ayin Hey, which is Hilchas Toim V'nit and the halachas of Bari V'Shem and many other things, in Siman Ayin Hey, Sivkat and Vav, the Ksos very clearly understands that this Taz was not being Mechadesh, a new idea, but rather just based on the same concept of the Rif. So when the Ksos quotes the Taz, like you just see, he doesn't like talk about it. He just says that the Taz is working with the idea of ein safek motzi midei vadei. There's a vadei chiyuv, a safek if it was addressed at all. Ein safek motzi midei vadei. And again, most assume that the pasha reading of the Taz, definitely is not like that. We'll see which achronim pointed out later on. But the pasha reading of the Taz is this idea of a chezkas chiyuv. Now, if we think about the Taz for 1 second further, we realize that there's a very big chiddush that's there in that Taz. I just sort of, I tried to throw it out a second ago, that even though you do have a chezkas mama, right? When the guy says, manali biyadecha, I still retain my chezkas mama, whatever concept of a chezkas mama was, that we discussed the past couple of days, but I have that. The Taz is adding a chiddush. When there's a chezkas chiyuv, the chezkas chiyuv is able to override the chezkas mamon and say that you're going to be chayiv to pay. Okay. Now, one could express that as a question and as a little surprise. Hey, I thought like a chezkas mamon was an all-powerful, kind of a thing. We don't know what to do. Chezkas mamon always wins. Motzimei chaveiro, chazaka de meikara. So why just because there's a question plus a chezkas chiyuv, does that automatically say the big strong concept of chezkas mamon is not going to be able to win? That's a very interesting point, a very interesting question that there's a Beis HaLevi in the second chelik Beis of the Beis HaLevi in Siman Mem Os Tes Zayin, where the Beis HaLevi, when there's many of the parts of that siman discuss some of the sugyas of Bari V'Shema. The Beis HaLevi points out that he thinks that idea is based on another detail in our Gemara. If you remember Rabbi Gamliel in our Gemara, again, moving out of the machlokas of Nachman and Rabbi Yehuda, Rabbi Gamliel in the Mishnah, by us, the way the Gemara eventually explains is that when the girl has the chezkas aguf, right, or chezkas kashrus, going for her, that was enough to take the money away from the Baal who had his chazaka de meikar. He had a chezkas mamon on all the money for the ksuba. The ksuba gets called into question. She has a tainas bari. Right? Remember the Gemara thought, hey, does that mean that he holds that the bari v'shema bari is adif even over chezkas mamon? And the Gemara says no, because she has her chazaka, the chezkas kashrus that's there. She's a basula, etc. So the bari plus the chazaka is able to win out over the chezkas mamon. The Beis HaLevi says that he thinks that that's what's going on over here also. The fact that the malva is coming with a tainas bari, right, and there's a chezkas chiyuv that the other guy has, that's what's strong enough to override the chezkas mamon of the lova. Okay, but be that as it may, that's the new pshat of the Taz that's over here. Now, what we did for you on the Marmakomos is point out to you that in two of the great Gedolei Achronim, they clearly work with these two different ideas that we just discussed. If you look, for example, in that Kovet Shiurim by Rabbi Chanan and Baba Basra, excuse me. So there, Rabbi Chanan clearly spells out the concept of a chezkas chiyuv, okay, which we just discussed, right? That's the idea of the Taz. Now he also clearly points out the idea of the principle of ein safek motzi midei vade, right? So Rabbi Chanan thinks that both of those things are true and operative, and but he definitely speaks out those principles. On the other hand, the Shev Shmaisa that you have in that Shmaisa, again, I'm hoping that that you read it through. But the Shmaisa very clearly there speaks about the idea of Eini יודע in Prathicha is going to be chayiv basically because of Bari V'Shema, Bari Adif. And this is a classic example, a super example of Bari Adif. He said, just to read one of the lines, near the time of the Eini יודע in Prathicha, the chayiv, hu mishum de Bari V'Shema, Bari is Adif. If the guy says, I don't know if I was ever chayiv, but also then he has uki mamon v'chezkas mari. When it's just a case of Eini יודע in Prathicha, he says it's the reyes in the chezkas mamon, and we're able to go back on the regular rule of Bari V'Shema when you're not going up against a regular strong chezkas mamon that you're going to be chayiv to pay. And again, there's a reyes in the chezkas mamon either because the guy agrees that he once was chayiv, or as the Rush spells out, because there's a taina against him of heavy le'lameda. Why don't you know what the story exactly is? So we just traced through some of the Rishonim and early Achronim the three principles that work in the concept of Eini יודע and Prathicha. And then we just pointed out in two of the later Achronim, the Shev Shmaisa and the Rebbe Chanan, the Kovet Shiurim. So they speak out those ideas. Now, what we're going to do for the next little while is try to work through some possible nafkaminas between these different reasons that are here. Okay, like what is it? Like what are the issues that are involved? And do the different reasons actually matter? And are there different piskei halacha that would come up based on the different reasons that are given over here? So, for starters, I don't know if you have it open on your sheet still, but if we look back to the Gemaras in Baba Kama and Kuf Yud Ches, where this sugi of Eini יודע and Prathicha came up, Okay, I want to run quickly through some of the shaykh matari of the Gemara with you, so we can point out one possible very important issue that's here. Again, I'm not going to read every line, but we're going to map out the Gemara. The Gemara starts off with the Itmar, right, and we quote over the Machlokas of Nachman and Reb Yehuda. Okay, and the Gemara says, it brings in the Mishnah. Ha'omer lechaver gizalti chil visani yifkadet be'eni yodeim hechzarti lecha im lav. Right, so the guy's going to be chayiv to pay. But if you say Eini Odem Hil Visani, then you're going to be pater. Right, so the Gemara now tries to figure out what the story is with those two cases of the Mishnah in light of the machlokas between Reb Nachman and Reb Yehuda. So Heichi Dami, the Gemara asks, if there was no Tviya, in other words, if no one came over to me and say, hey, you stole from me, which is equivalent of saying there's no tainas bari at all. So says the Gemara, Ilema de lo katabali. So then Reisha Nami de lo katabali, amai chayav. So in the first case, when I say, I stole money, and but I'm not sure if I paid you back. Why should I be chayav to pay? No one's asking, and I have the money. I'm not sure if I paid you back. What would be the point of paying back? Ella de katabali. It says the Gemara, so the first case in the Mishnah, right, where I'm chayiv to pay, it must be that there's a tainas bari against me, right? You're saying he'll be sani, he'll be sicha, and I'm saying yes, I borrowed money. I don't know if I paid you back. I'm going to be chayiv to pay. Katani seifa, but then the seifa says that I'm going to be pater from paying back. So that sounds a little surprising. The Gemara says there's a tainas bari against me, right? And I'm saying in the Mishnah says back, you say, well, I don't know if I ever borrowed the money. And I'm pater. Hey, that's mamish going against Reb Yehuda. That's very hard to countenance. It says the Gemara, the olam de lo katabale. The case over here is that there was no taina against me. Okay, and the first case in the Mishnah where we're saying that I'm chayiv to pay back. That's no one said, hey, you stole money. No one said, hey, you borrowed money. Right? The reason why I'm paying back is because I admit that I did borrow the money. And that's not true if I ever paid you back. And you want to be a good guy, do the right thing. You should give the money back. I think more quotes in Itmar Nami. Rabbi Yochanan, Omer l'chaver mana li biyadach havahalam Eini יודע. Your chayav v'ba tzeisidei shemayim. Everyone agrees that you should pay back for a ba latzeis yidei shemayim if you want to do the right thing. Now, the Gemara over here, okay, is telling us something very, very interesting. Again, without going through the entire shaykh matari again, but what we hopefully just picked up on in the Gemara is that the Gemara seems to say that the case of Eini יודע in P'raticha, okay, to be chayiv to pay. Remember the way the Gemara learns, right? In the case of gizalticha, he'll be sani, hifkadet etzli, but Eini יודע im hechzarti lecha, im lo hechzarti lecha. Where the guy is saying Eini יודע in P'raticha, the reason why you're chayiv to pay, according to the Gemara in Baba Kama, is the concept of ba lotzeis yidei shemayim. We got that? Ba lotzeis yidei shemayim. Now again, just if you could unmute and just let's do interactive for a minute over here, okay? The reason why it's only a case of ba lotzeis yidei shemayim and there's no actual chiyuv and bezdin to pay is because, proverbial drum roll please. Thank you. Now you can also answer the question.
No chaskas chiyuv.
Why you're not chayav on a real level only bad like tzizei shemayim? Because the other guy didn't or wasn't toveya anything, right? In other words, okay, to have an actual chiyuv of Eini יודע in P'raticha, to be chayiv in bezdin, there has to be a tainas bari. And then the guy's, Shema, right? Eini יודע in P'raticha, and that's when you're going to be chayav. Okay? So the simple pshat that Gemara says And the only time we actually have the real bona fide case of Eini יודע in Prathicha is when there was a Tainas Bari. You need the Tainas Bari. Now, let's build on that very, very quickly. That makes a lot of sense, okay, if you learn that the whole idea of Eini יודע in Prathicha, the yesod of the Chiyuv is a concept, the regular concept, or a heightened, right, steroid concept of Bari B'Shem, Bari Adif. Of course, you're not going to be chayiv to pay because I didn't give a Tainas Bari. That's what the Gemara says. Okay? The truth is, right, if I held that the reason behind Eini יודע in Prathicha is because of the idea of a cheskas chiyuv, you might be able to say the same exact thing. The cheskas chiyuv is only ignited, right, is only brought in, only becomes operative when the other guy has a taina, right? Now, the other guy says to me, I want my stuff back, right? I have a cheskas mamo, right? So my cheskas mamo lets me keep the stuff. But, right, if there's already a court case, if there's a taina against me, lamaisa, once there's a cheskas chiyuv, things are going to be weighted in favor of the person who's making the taina. Let's now talk about the rif, right? Ein safek motzi midei vadai. Okay? So here we can discuss, okay, we can bring up the question, is it so pashut, maybe it's not so pashut, that you would need a tainas bari on behalf of the toveya in order to create an ein safek motzi midei vadai, meaning to say, maybe it could be that once the nitba is modeh, that, yeah, I borrowed your money, right? Maybe that's enough of a vadai, like, okay, I mean, he said he owes the money, right, to make him already going to be chayiv. Now, again, there's a taina shema that the toveya might be offering, right? But the fact that they're, like, I'm saying that I was chayiv, maybe that's enough to already say, ein safek motzi midei vadai. So that's a, what do you call, that's a question. Maybe, on the other hand, maybe say it's only called a vadai if the other guy actually is offering up a tainas bari. Not 100% clear what would be with that. So issue number one, right, is the idea of what, in order to actually have the case of Eini יודע in Prathicha, how strong of a taina does there have to be coming from the toveya? Okay, we already clearly seen the Gemara, if there's no taina at all, I'm for sure not chai, right? What happens if there's a tainas shema, right? That's there. So again, what does that do? If, chazing through the options, if the chiyuv is based on an example of the model of bari v'shema bari adif, and for sure you need a tainas bari. If the chiyuv is based on the idea of a cheskas chiyuv, so again, the pashtus is that cheskas chiyuv is only ignited when there was a fight between me and him. I'm a muchzak in the money. You're coming with a taina against that. My chazaka should win. But on the other hand, there's a cheskas chiyuv because I was moded to you that I borrowed the money. Okay, so cheskas chiyuv wins. The only question is going to be, according to the sheet of the rif, what exactly is needed to be able to create a dynamic of ein safek motzi midei vadai. Okay, so that's potential nafkamina number one. Potential nafkamina number two. This one is fascinating. And this is the shach that, again, just show of hands, how many of us read through the shach, just to make our lives a little easier? Did we get through the shach in Ayin Hey Kavav? Any hands? 1 second, I want to lower my screen to see if anyone's raising their hands. A couple of guys, hey, how about that? Okay. So that is good news to hear. Did you all enjoy the shach the same way I did enjoy this? This is like fun, the shach. I thought it was a great shach. Yeah, we're all excited about this. Let's get the juices flowing. Says the shach, I had it as these like, they think of these things. The shach, as deals with the case of a safek where the piraon took place before the loan was made. Okay? Which is a fascinating concept, right? The possible repayment of the loan took place before the halva itself took place. Okay? So says the shach, he gives us an example. And this is a fascinating discussion over here now. I do want to read inside because it's important to get. we're going on the basic din of Eini, יודע, Pratija, where you're chayiv to pay. Mishum dekeva the vadei chayiv lo, the suffix im hichzer lo, and vadei chayiv, the suffix I return, v'chiyai gavna amrina and bari b'shema bari adif. Okay? So now we're going to say, yeah, but bari b'shema bari adif, and you have to pay. Okay. So now the Shach brings up a question. Says the Shach, v'nira, I think, okay, now again, we're going to have to see if everyone agrees to this, but v'nira, I think, Yafilu Safek HaPiron who Kodem Ha'alva, even if the questionable Piron took place before the loan took place, okay, could go an example. Hayilo Pikadon Biyado. I was watching a thing for, I have your thing. And then I was negligent, and your thing got lost, and I'm chayiv to pay. I owe you money right now. Okay, but before I paid you back for the pshia on my shmira, hilvilo, I lent you money. Can I give you? Here's the deal. I give you $100. So now the guy who up until now was called the mafkid also becomes a love. So on the one hand, he is owed money, and on the other hand, he owes money, right? Back and forth to the same two people. Hanifkad Omer, the original Shomer, who says, יודע ani shelo ha rak chamisha. I am telling you that the pikadon that I was watching out for, that I lost and that I'm chayiv to pay you for, was only worth 50. Okay? Which means that the amount of money I owe you is 50, okay? But I just lent you $100. So I'm willing to say that 50 out of the 100 that I owe you, or 50 100 you owe me, we can square off like that, right? It's an even trade. But there's still $50 that you owe me because I just lent you $100. So I want to be paid $50. Halova Omer, Eini יודע kama hayashaveh. The Lova says, I'm not really sure exactly how much it was worth. You're saying that I owe you $50? Maybe not. I don't know. Maybe the actual pikadon was worth $100, and you owe me $100, and by extension now I can be yosei paying back my loan by being mochel you $100 that you owe me. And the mafkid / lova is saying that I think maybe the pikadon is worth 100, and therefore by extension I was never chayiv to you anything, because the moment I borrowed the $100, I wasn't chayiv to $100 because you were chayiv to me the $100 already. So I just it would cancel itself out. Says the Shach, the love / mafkid, the Shach Paskins, is chayiv to pay the questionable remaining $50. The mikam makom heavy le'achiyav bari apetur safek. Says the Shach, because bottom line is the chiyuv is bari, the petur is a safek. Bari b'shema bari adif. But I think you still apply the rule of bari b'shema bari adif. That's the psak of the Shach. Fascinating. Imagine a fascinating case. Says the Beis Halevi once again. Chelik Beis Simen Mem. This time it's an Oz Yud Zayin. Okay? Says the Beis Halevi. Let's look at that Shach for a second. Let's understand. Could that be true? What the Shach says. Is that true? That you're chayiv to pay because of Eini, יודע, and Praticha. Well, says the Shach. Says the Beis Halevi. If you hold like the Rif, that the whole yesod of the chiyuv is ein safek motzi midei vadei, okay? Then I totally get where the Shach is coming from over here. Ein safek motzi midei vadei. There was money that was borrowed. We're not sure exactly, and everyone agrees that there was $100 borrowed. We're not sure exactly how much the pikadon was. It is very not clear whether or not the pikadon, that debt canceled out the debt from the loan. So ain't safek moti midivada. And the fact that what do you call it? That that there's a questionable payback, it's not going to do anything. Ain't safek moti midivada. Says the Beis Halevi though, if you were to go like the Shita of the Taz, okay, where the Taz spoke about the idea of a chezkas chiyuv, right? You're chayiv to pay because there's a chezkas chiyuv. So says the Beis Halevi, that Taz is totally not true in a case like this. There's no chezkas chiyuv in the slightest bit, because there was no starting point of an actual chiyuv. The entire question, because the doubtful payback was before the loan was ever made, right? Because the question was, how much did the original shomer owe to the original mafkid? So there was never a moment where I actually had a chezkas chiyuv, where I was chayiv to pay. The whole thing starts as a bigger question. So says the Beis Halevi, according to the Taz, in this kind of a case, no, you're actually going to be patur. This is not an example of Eini יודע Pra'athicha or not. Now, yesh la'ayin, what we have to look into, right? Which is again, this is the shaky one over here. According to the whole pshat of the Tosis Arush, the idea of bari v'shema bari adif, right? This is a super tainas bari over here. So the way the Rush explained, right, was that in the classic Eini יודע Pra'athicha, the Eini יודע Pra'athicha is so bad, it's such a garua taina that you have. I know I bought, I don't know if I paid you back. That's so garua. Even Rav Nachman says that you're chayav to pay back the money. And your chezkas mama just doesn't matter. Of course you have to pay back. Now in the case of the shach, okay, the Eini יודע Pra'athicha, no one was saying Eini יודע Pra'athicha, right? I'm chayav. I know I borrowed money, but I'm not sure if I paid you back. The tainas themselves are what create, right? The debate between the malva and the lova is what creates the scenario of it's not clear if there was a payback, right? But there's never a moment where you have a tainas bari and I say, oh yeah, I did borrow the money. Hey, but I just don't remember if I paid you the money back. The lova himself is claiming that the bikadon might have been worth $100 back in the day. Again, the malva is insisting it's not true, right? But according to the lova, maybe the bikadon was paid back. So it's not 100% clear if that's called a tainas bari against the shema garua, where the shema garua is going to lose out. Okay, do we follow that last point that was there, right? Why the shach's case is for sure true if you hold of ain't savi motzi midei vadai, is for sure not true if you hold of the idea of a chezkas chiyuv, and is not clear if it's true if you hold of the Tosis the Rush's idea of heavy leila meida being a problem. Yeah? Okay. We have a couple of minutes, so let's move on a little bit over here. Okay, now this is another great discussion, but it's a long discussion, and I'm not sure we're going to finish, but I want to start off at least. Okay, I'm going to do things a little bit out of order right now. I think I make our lives a little bit easier. Let's look at the Rambam. Okay, Toina Nitan, Perak Aleph Halachates. Sorry, just have to readjust my screen for a second. Okay. We're going to read inside in the Rambam. Very, very important Rambam. And again, this is the Rambam's own case. This is not literally a Gemara here. Manali biyadacha, bevadai. You have my money. Hanit ba'omer king, hoyalacha biyadi. Yeah, that's true. Aber eini יודע im echzarti lacha, or dayin lo echzarti. I borrowed money, I don't know if I paid it back. Chayiv l'shalim, he has to pay. Lo yishba tovei klal, afilu shvuas heses, and the tovei doesn't have to take any kind of a shvua. I'm just pater from paying. I'm just chayiv to pay. One guy is claiming you owe me money. Also tainas vadai. He's offering a tainas bari. Nistapik im niftar im lo niftar. And the other guy is a suffix. Was he exempted or not? V'chein kol kiyotze. Is there any similar case to that? That's called Eini יודע Pra'athicha. You're chayiv. Says the Rambam Mechidish. Again, this is the part that's not in the Gemaras. About im ein lo toveya. V'hoda me'atzmo. V'omar gizaltich ohil bisani mane. And I listen to the next case. Avicha hifkid etzli maneh. Your father was mafkid a maneh. Ve'eini יודע mechzartiv or lo echzartiv. I don't remember if the maneh that I borrowed from your father or that I was watching for your father, I don't remember if I paid that back or not. Eino chayiv l'shalim. In that kind of a case, I'm not going to be chayiv to pay back. Okay, I'm not going to be chayiv to pay back. In Balot says they shemayim chayiv l'shalim. But if it's Balot says shemayim, it's a good idea to pay back. Okay, now let's take a look over here at this particular case. Right? Let's take a look at this particular case. And the point that we're going to make in the Rambam right now is found in Rebbe Kiva Eger and Bav Mitzi and Daf Lamed Vav. Okay, is also found by one of the Pirushim in Shulchan Aruch called the Shara Mishpat over here in Siman Ayin Hey. They note that the Rambam here seems to be discussing the case where the Toveya himself, okay, is a big, low heavy Leila Meida, and therefore by extension he has no real kind of a Tainas Bari. Okay, meaning in the case of like the Rambam says, your father, had given me money. I don't know if I returned it or not. Okay, so now the nitba, just to get it clear, is saying I have money, right? For sure, I had money that belonged to your family, and I'm for sure saying that I don't know if I paid it back. Right, so all the ingredients are there for a case of Eini, יודע and Pratija. Okay, but there is no real Tainas Bari against me. The Taveya, can't and doesn't have any real idea about what took place. Rikivega points out if you back up in that Rambam, when the Rambam describes the case of Eini, יודע and Pratija, he uses an expression, Harizet toin oso Tainas vadai, right? There's a vadai taina there, but a stapik im niftar alone niftar, and the other guy is a suffix if he paid back. Okay? It says Rabbi Kiva Eger, the Rambam is planting a seed, right? The reason why the Eini, יודע and Pratija is chayv is because there is a clear tainas vadai against me, right? That I'm responding back with this idea of Eini, יודע and Pratija. But the moment that you take away that tainas bari, okay, then we no longer have a case of Eini, יודע and Pratija. Yeah? Okay. Now, we're just setting up an issue over here. So we're going to take a look at the Rashba and Gittin on Daf Ayin Ches. Okay. Now, just a quick word of background over here to this Rashba. So the Gemara in Gittin on Daf Ayin Ches are discussing a case. The Gemara talks about something where it's a suffix if the girl is megureshes. Okay, and the Gemara is different. Again, there's a number of different sugyas that are there, but in a very, very general thing. There's a discussion in the Gemara about cases where a girl's a suffix if the gerushin had taken place. One example the Gemara speaks about is, and this is what the Rashba's Dibur Maskal is on. There are two sets of Eidim. Okay, one set of Eidim said that the get that was thrown in the direction of the girl landed what the Gemara calls karov low. It landed closer to the guy, in which case he never really officially gave her the get. The other set of Eidim that witnessed the get being thrown said no, it landed right by the girl's feet, and it was karov la, and therefore she would be megureshes. Okay, so there's two contradictory sets of Eidim. Right? Did the gerushin actually work? Did the get actually land in a place that would have made the girl megureshes or not? Okay. The Gemara then goes on and says that the same scenario would be true. Okay, in a case of again, in that particular case, the girl has a status of a suffix megureshes. The Gemara says the same thing would be true by a chov. Okay, if I owed you money, and the two people make up, okay, I'm going to throw the money back to you. Let's say it's there's social distancing issues. I can't get too close. I'm going to throw the money back to you. And we make up. If it lands closer to you, then I'm putter. If it lands closer to me, then I still have to pay you back. It doesn't matter that I threw the money at you and tried to get it to you. I'm still chayiv to pay back. Okay? Now you have two contradictory sets of Eidim. Okay, so the Rashba understands that the Gemara is saying that the din is going to be yachloku. Okay, it's not clear, was the money paid back or not, so you split the money. Now let's look inside in the Rashba. Hiksha Rav Rabbeinu Elchanan, cannot be confused with Reb Elchanan. He's called Rabbeinu Elchanan, right? I mean, he's one of the Rishonim. Im Kain, well, according to this case, when we come to the case of the questionably paid back chov, mechsa yachloku, where if the money, we have this line, it's a 50-50, we don't know what happened to the money. You would split it. Again, the case by extension, if you have two different contradictory sets of Eidim, we're going to split that money. Says the Rashba, he has a question, right? This Rabbeinu Elchanan asks a kasha. Why am I splitting the money? Adarabba, just the opposite should be true. Heavy lala meimer, uke tre labade tre. You have two Eidim going against each other. Uke mamone bechezkas mare. And the money should stay in the possession of the original owner. And uke mamone bechezkas mare would mean what in that particular case? Want to guess?
Wait, what is
huh?
I don't know what it means, but it would be in that case. It would be that the canary case.
Yeah, so let's read on. We'll see a little bit more as we read on. But the pashas doesn't mean that I what do you call it? I don't owe you any more money anymore. Like Bistam, I did what I had to do, and I'm gonna have to pay you again. Betir to betosis. Tosis no. Hacha l'tervayu islu chazaka. There's two different issues here. Two chazakos. Lamal ve'ikal ameim uke achezkase shuhu mechuyav lo. Halove kodem shenolad suffix zeh. On the one hand, there's a chezkas chiyuv. The malva was owed money. The lova ikal chazaka ikal ameim uke mamon vechezkas mari. And on the lova side, we can say, yeah, but like whatever money that you're asking him that he should be paying right now, and he's a muhsag, why should you have to pay his money if it's not clear that he owes any money? Maybe he was already exempt when he threw the money at the other guy. Okay, hilkach yachloku. So you split it. Okay, we got that. That's the easy part. Now the Rashba asks a kasha. Im tomar adarabba. I don't understand. What do you mean you split the money? Heavy le kemana hilvisani ve'ini יודע im prathicha imlav. The Tanam Perika goes al basra shuhu chayev. Says the Rashba, isn't this a classic case of Eini יודע im prathicha? Everyone knows that I was chayev. Right? And it's just not clear if I paid back. And the rules of Eini יודע prathicha says I'm chayiv to pay you back right now. So why shouldn't it be the same case? Again, two contradictory sets of Eidim. I'm chayiv, I'm pater. Yeah, we don't know if the guy's, but we know he was chayiv. We just don't know if he's chayiv right now. Ask the Rashba, why isn't this a case of Eini יודע im prathicha? We should be chayiv to pay. Should be chayiv to pay. V'yesh lomer the shani hasam, that's different. The leka raglayim sheparo. Over there's no basis to assume that he paid him back. But in the case in Masechta Gittin, in the case of Gittin, the suffix arose right in front of our faces, and therefore yachloku. Why? Like, of course you just split the money. The suffix arose right now. Suffix in front of us, you have to pay the money back. Now, the answer of the Rashba we're going to analyze for sure, not today because we're like time's up. But let's just make a point about the question very, very, very quick. And again, we're going to elaborate more tomorrow. I just want to not leave you totally hanging. Let's take a look at the question of the Rashba. Right? The Rashba is asking this example where you have this debate between the Eidim, okay? And that makes it not clear if the guy paid any money, actually was Yotzei paying the money back. And the Rashba is saying, hey, this is a case of Eini יודע im prathicha. So we can ask on the Rashba, okay, which is a ha'ara that Mefarshim make on the Rashba. But it's, again, the question is definitely there. The Malveh is definitely not making a tainas bari of manali biyadacha. Right? The money was in his hands, and it's very clear that everybody knows that there was an attempted payback. Okay? The Eidim are the ones who are creating the suffix piron. Okay? But the Toveya doesn't have a clear taina that you owe me money right now. We got that? In other words, the facts on the ground were money was owed, right? There was an attempted payback, and there's a suffix, right? If the attempted payback was legit or not, okay? And the Rashba is asking, hey, that is a case of Eini, יודע, and Pratija. I know there was a chiyuv, I don't know if it was paid back, I should be chayiv to pay everything. But again, when you stop and look at the question of the Rashba, you scratch your head and say, well, I don't get, what are you asking? I would have thought in that case is for sure not a case of Eini, יודע, and Pratija, because there's no taina of manali biyadacha on behalf of the malvi here at all. Right? Do you understand why there's no taina? Right? There was a taina an hour ago, right? But we got past that already, right? Something happened that there's a brand new suffix over. Something happened that took care of that issue, and we know the guy tried to pay back. So the chiyuv that's in question now is not coming from a taina's bar of you owe me money, right? And the other guy said, I don't know if I paid you back. I threw the money. There's machlokas between two eidim if there's a chiyuv or not. So what it sounds like is the Rashba might be arguing on our Rambam that we just saw. Okay. Again, I think we're gonna go over this tomorrow, but let's spell it out quickly right now. According to the Rashba, it sounds like the Rashba is saying that even in a case where the malver, the toveya, doesn't really have any clue, right? But the moment that there is an indication of I was chayiv but Eini, יודע, and Pratija on behalf of the love, that's already enough to be called an Eini, יודע, and Pratija that you're chayiv by. Okay? Okay, we're gonna. I think we're a little bit late. We're gonna pick up with this machlokes and try to explain, more why this is going to be an nafkamina between some of the different shitos. In total, we're going to do. Yeah, we're going to work through 5 different issues in any day of 5 different pastoral nafkaminas that are there. Again, Amir Tashem, tomorrow we're going to continue. It has, once again, and maybe even as always, been a pleasure. And we're going to pause for